Shalom, Mike, and first and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Racha, Kodash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. I'd like to say Shalom to the elect that teach His word in all truth, faith, and sincerity. And today, I just want to get into prophecy and how that's the spirit that's upon the planet Earth. You know, prophecy has pretty much overwhelmed the planet Earth, by the way of the prophets speaking these things is reaching, the ears of the people. And this very same message is coming to life, man. You know, and it just lets you know that when everything's settled down, when the smoke clears and dust settle, everybody gonna know about Yahweh Hashem outside the end of the day, man. Because us proclaiming these things, and when it happens, who else you gonna say who did it, man? Matter of fact, let's start off with something real quick. In the book of Jeremiah 16 and verse 14, it said, "Therefore, behold, the days come, and we in that time." The days that's come is right here, right now. That's why we read Jeremiah. We can go into Daniel and Revelations, because this is the time where it was gonna all make sense. It says, "Seal the words even to the time of the end." So now we read these things when it say, "And it shall come to pass," or it reads, "And in that day," most of the time, it's talking about now, man. It's talking about right now. So it says, "Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt." See? Because even in that we already seen the beginning stages of that process, because the people kind of, they always, they might acknowledge what happened to Egypt, but they always forget who did it to Egypt, man. But this what's going to take place is going to pale in comparison. See, the Lord is going to throw the kitchen sink at this place, man. That's why I say it's going to be a time like no other. It says, "But the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands where they have driven them, and I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers." See, so it said, "The Lord liveth." So that lets you know, before you utter anything concerning America, we're gonna utter the names Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shemel Shai. That's, it's gonna be once again acknowledged throughout the planet Earth. He's once again is gonna declare, and gain fame. His name once again gonna gain fame throughout the planet Earth, and that process is starting now. See, when we declare a famine is going to take place, well, who's the one that's pulling the strings? Who's the one that ordered the famine concerning the destruction of America? Who the one that sanctioned that? It's Yahweh Hashem Shai, man. Which, it lets you know the Lord is in control, because He foretells, the things that's going to take place through the prophets. Then when it happened, then that a prophet had been among you, but ultimately, then you're gonna know about the Lord. You know what I mean? So, matter of fact, let's get this. Let's get this in the book of Isaiah 42. Matter of fact, Isaiah chapter 42, I start at verse 8. It reads, "I am the Lord, that is my name, and my glory would I not give to another, neither my praise to graven images." See, so And glory is concerning, the different works the Lord have done upon the planet Earth. See, it's Yahweh Shema Shai that's responsible for everything that takes place upon the planet Earth. And these things, these major events that entails, that leads to the rise and downfall of the kingdom of the Lord, make sure you put his name on it. By the way of the prophets proclaiming these things before they take place, man. So that's why I say he's not going to give his glory to another, needs praise to any graven image, because guess what? It's going to be declared Yahweh Shema Shai going to do it. Then when it happened, okay, it was Yahweh Shema Shai. That's why the scripture it constantly say, then ye shall know that I am the Lord. Why? Because it was told you first, man. It says, behold, the former things that are come to pass. See, such as the flood, Sodom and Gomorrah, and a plethora of other things that's written within the scriptures that came to pass. And it's because it says, that's why it says, behold, because the works of the Lord, Esau have done documentaries and interviews concerning those things that I spoke of. Even, dealing with the flood, it's an actual, like a 3-part documentary concerning the flood. People found, that pretty much where Sodom and Gomorrah could be at, where the highest concentrate of sulfur is at, man. That's why I said, behold, the former things are coming to pass. The very same thing that was declared back then, they came to pass. And we can go back in the history and it checked out. It says, and new things do I declare. What's a new thing? That thing. The MOTB. That's a new thing that's being declared. The destruction of America. It says, before they spring forth, I tell you of them, see, and spring forth to bud forth to manifest. It's going to be told you first, man. Then it play out. And it lets you know. It says, before they spring forth, I tell you of them. So it lets you know when the prophets come, it's going to be in the name of Yahweh Shema Shai. This is a message from Yahweh Shema Shai. When Noah was proclaiming that flood to come, he said the Lord is going to send the flood. When Lot was prophesying, he was saying the Lord is going to do it. That's why the scripture started off saying, thus saith the Lord. This is a commandment from Yahweh Shema Shai, being conveyed by the prophets. But the point is, it's spoken, then it manifests. The decree. Matter of fact, let's get some matter of fact. Because that's what it is. That's why the scripture is also known as commandments. I think that's Zephaniah. Bear with me. Zephaniah 2:1. It says, gather yourselves together. Gather together, O nation not desired. And the ones that's going to gather are the elect. And it's going to be the glue. It's going to be by the way of the word of the Holy One. It says, before the decree bring forth. See, so it's going to actually be a decree that's going to manifest. And that decree is ultimately concerning the destruction of America. It says, before the decree bring forth. So just like you can say no, well, it's going to be a scenario where no actually plays out. Oh, that's why the scripture says, come no further. Well, we're going to actually see that scenario play out. Ultimately, when America get violently overthrown by the way of thermonuclear missiles, and even the build up to it concerning the plagues and pestilences and the things that's causing distress and anguish upon these Americans. All these things are spoken first before it bring forth or bud forth or spring forth. It's all the same thing. It's going to fully manifest and grow in its perfection, man. And that's what we're seeing. We're in the midst of these things. We're in the midst of prophecy, you know, and it's only intensifying as each day go by, man. Then suddenly, the floodgates open, man. You know, the overwhelming spirit of judgment is about to go forth throughout the planet Earth pretty soon, especially here in Babylon the Great. So it says, before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as the chaff, before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you, before the day of the Lord's anger come upon you. So as you can see, it's a certain day these things are going to take place, and we in that time period where certain events will actually lead to that perfect day. We in that day, but it's going to actually lead to an actual day. A series of events is going to lead to that perfect day, man. And we in that time, you know. You know what I said? These things are being spoken first, and it ultimately it manifests. We declaring the works of Yahweh Shema Shai, just like Noah, he declared it, and it came to pass. You know, a lot he would declare, and it came to pass. You know, the prophets of old, Jonah, it came to pass, and that's why we bring it up now, just so let you know that this is not a new thing, man. Oh, matter of fact, let's get something real quick. Jeremiah 28:8. Jeremiah chapter 28 verse 8. It says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old. So this is the legacy of the prophets. When the prophets on the scene, this is pretty much the message you're gonna get. It says, prophesy both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. So those are the things that were declared before it took place. But you see the message. The message was of a war, of evil, and of pestilence. Those are the things that's concerning the symptoms of the end of a rulership. And that's what the scripture talks, you know, is concerning the things concerning the rise and downfall of the kingdoms and the events that leads towards that, man. And we in the end now where ultimately the kingdom of heaven is about to be established, man. You know? So this work that's about to take place is going to be a hell of a work, man. A mighty work indeed. Matter of fact, let's get this in the book of Psalms, chapter 145. And I started 4. It says, one generation shall praise thy works to another. See? Going back, I said Lot, Jonah, Noah. You can't, you know, you gonna always talk about Noah. Because we once again in them same time. And what I said, our Lord Yahweh said, as in the days of Noah, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. So this is same, we're in that same you know, that same vibrations on the planet Earth. Also Noah, you read in the book of Ecclesiastes Sirach, it tells you that time was a time of wrath. Well, we once again in that time. But you said we praise thy works to another, and said, and shall declare thy mighty acts. See? We declaring the mighty acts of Yahweh Shema Shai, what he did in the past, what's going on now, and what's about to take place in the near future, man. You know? The different works the Lord is about to do upon the planet Earth. Dealing with his creation, the newly created beast. With the Lord got Esau, you know, brewing with his weaponry, you know, and a plethora of other things that's going to be beyond human comprehension. And the only way that's you're going to be stable in that day, we got to have the truth, man. You know, it's going to ultimately come down to a mental thing, because the carnality, the physical is going to totally be taken out of it, man. You know, the why it says it's going to be a day like no other. It says, I will speak of the glorious honor of thy majesty and of thy wondrous works. It says, and men shall speak of the might of thy terrible acts and I will declare thy greatness. See, so that's what we doing. We are speaking of the might of the terrible acts of Yahweh Shema Shai, past, present, and future, man. You know, we, like I said, we could talk about what happened back then. It checked out. That's why the scripture just going back said, "Behold, the former things are come to pass." The Lord ain't say that for nothing, because you can go to an interview and hear people break down what took place in Sodom and Gomorrah, how much sulfur is concentrated sulfur is there. Like I said, concerning the flood, those things actually took place upon the planet Earth. The things that's written within the scriptures concerning today, we seeing these things taking place upon the planet Earth. When you talk about a famine, we seeing the events that's leading towards that. Martial law, uh, World War III. We seeing the steps that lead towards these things, man. So the prophecy is about to spring forth. It's about to sprout, man. Everything is being ripened now. You know? So matter of fact, let's get this real quick in the book of Sirach, Ecclesiastes 17. In verse 8. He set his eye upon their hearts. See, so the Lord have pretty much given us the spirit of prophecy, man. That eye goes into foresight. You know, you can see what's ahead of you. And it's upon our hearts. So that's what we meditate on. Prophecy, man. You know, it says that he might show them the greatness of his work. See, and now we have the Lord have you know opened himself unto us, man. You know, by showing us, you know, the these prophecies, the works, not just what took place back then, but what's going on now. See, the Lord is showing us why now, man. Matter of fact, continue on. It says he gave them to glory in his marvelous acts forever. See? Oh, and it tells you, you're going to glory in anything, glory that you understand of and know of me. So, you glory in your house by Shema Shai by teaching, man. You know? That's how you glory in your house by Shema Shai, by teaching. It says he gave them to glory in his marvelous acts forever, that they might declare his works with understanding. See? So now we can tell you why the money finna crash. We can tell you why the power finna go out. Or why that you can't explain that beast that just shot sparks out of his eye. We get a precept for it, man. You know? But the Lord is revealing these things until, and it said we're gonna declare it. We're gonna declare, and this is what you're saying now, by the way, the internet, you know. But before these things spring forth, you know, before you know, whenever the smoke clear and the dust settle, you gonna know it's Yahweh Shema outside, because these things were spoken beforehand, man. And you know, starting the pots and elders on down, especially dealing with the MOTB, man, that thing. See, when that happened, you know, ain't gonna be no mulligans, man. You know, and that's gonna be the ultimate ultimatum. But at the end of the day, these things are now spring. We seeing it. It's manifesting. Everything is right now. You know, we in that time. So yeah, I just hold it with edifying. I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rachakodah.